Why is everyone so quiet suddenly? It's okay. We can carry on with a bit of masti till time.
No, they started recording it.
So good. Let it be recorded that we do masti also.
I started recording. No, I don't want to incriminate myself, so just being careful. There were quite a few people actually.
Yeah.
If you are at the local residence, and it was quite huge. But what surprised me was,
Okay, time. Sorry, Ram.
all right,
Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Janice, please do the prayers.
Jai Meher Baba. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and more and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you. And help us all to hold fast to Baba's Dham till the very end. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai.
Jai Baba, everybody. Welcome to the greatest show on earth, the Thursday meeting. It is the greatest show on earth, yes, because the star is the greatest star ever, Mr. Meher Baba himself. I'd like to invite him to our session and also request him to take over the entire proceedings of this session as per his wish. Today, we have changed our format a little bit. That is, instead of appointing speakers, we'd like to have all our participants share their little bit on whatever they've experienced during this अपना क्या बोलते हैं silence day as well as Dhuni, or if they have had any experiences previous silence days or Dhunis or whatever. Before I get on to that topic, yesterday happened to be a Guru Purnima. And people were sending messages back and forth about Guru, this, that, and the other. I had a gentleman sitting right next to me in the bus, and he received a message which he made me read out, and it was from someone, very personal thing it was from someone who was greeting him as his guru, saying that during my younger days, I was trained, got a lot of abuses from you, many kicks, but today I'm the vice president of the company. And I couldn't be more happier. In fact, I regret not having announced it in the bus itself. The gentleman is none other than our Bomi Bamanji. Nobody would have ever guessed that he had such a, what should I say, colorful background or whatever you call it. This young man is now presently the vice president of Tata Power. So, you know, we do not realize the potential of our people. I mean, Bomi Bamanji keeps running around doing various things for the bus, collecting money and assisting people get on and off and blah, 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 blah. But in his own times, he has done some great work. I also know of Godrej Mehta, who still works and he works on several projects, and they're all engineering marvels. So what I'm trying to say is, do not underestimate anybody. Like Ram Nori is still studying to become a millionaire in the future. So, okay. Now coming to Guru Purnima is over. Now coming to our actual schedule. Janice, would you like to come on and start with your thing? Are, sorry, Janice has reminded me. Yeah, I think I did invite Mayor Baba to come and join us and take over the proceedings from here on for the.
Okay.
Okay. And if I haven't, please forgive me, Baba. Come and do join us and take over the proceedings of this session. Janice, come on, please. You have something to narrate?
Yes, something very interesting. Am I audible, Uncle?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So, Jai Baba, everyone again. And this is about my experience of Baba's Silence Day this year. And it was really interesting and a very challenging one this year. So it happened like I started my silence at midnight, and Josh was completely well, okay. And suddenly, around 6 or 7 in the morning, Sunday morning, he's down with fever, and he was already on medication, and yet he had fever again. So I was like, I had a lot of challenge on how to communicate with the doctor. The doctor tried to call me, and doctor doesn't know I'm observing silence. And then I had to convey to her over a message that I'm sorry, I'm observing silence today. I can communicate with you over the message. So she was sweet enough to send me the messages, and then giving Josh the medication, calling for the medicines from the medical shop, being a Sunday, so all these challenges were there. But I read one message that was shared on the WhatsApp group. This was a message of Rustam uncle, his personal experience about Silence Day, Rustam Falati uncle.
Okay.
There he says, like the day he had a meeting with one of the lawyer in connection to the case that he was fighting for.
The case was about the factory at Merazad, which was polluting the water, chemical factory it was. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So I had read that message the previous night where uncle is like contemplating that it's an important day. Should I continue with my silence or should I not? Because I have to meet this lawyer. And many must have read this message. So towards the end, when Rustam uncle travels by the bus to go to the lawyer's place, he meets his friend, and then he talks to him, and he takes it as a sign that maybe Baba wants him to talk and not do the fasting. Uncle, am I correct? I hope I got it right. Something like that. And towards the end, like when he comes to Mehrazar again in the evening, and Iraj uncle inquires, or maybe the next day, how the silence day was. And he says he could not observe because of these reasons. So he took it as a sign, like Baba saying, it's okay if you cannot observe, you can do your duties. So similarly, then I took it as a reference or a point where Baba might test me through the day to see if I can continue with my silence. And especially in the house where I'm the only Baba lover, and it's just Jash and me who follow Baba. And Jash was not keen, so I did not push him. But overall, there was one challenge after the other. I'm conversing with my in-laws. I have a new maid explaining my, this writing to them. So overall, I continued with my silence, and I did not break my silence till the end. And this year, even by mistake, I did not break my silence. So I really thank Baba for giving me this, a smooth way to do my silence, although a challenging one. So I thought, Uncle, I should share with you that this was how my silence day was this year.
Thank you, Janice. Could you also please share your new maid's telephone number? Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. So,
Yeah,
Baba, actually, in day-to-day events, Baba does test us. Like, what do we do when he
Yes.
faces us in that situation? And I've had several instances, but only thing is follow your heart, listen to your heart. That's where Baba's guidance is. Thank
Wow.
you.
Wow. Very nice. Very nice.
Thank
Mr.
you,
Ram
Baba.
Nori, how was your silence?
Silence Day was pretty good, except that and I broke my silence twice. So I was usually, during Silence Day, I do stay at MPR, and which is very quiet. You just confine yourself, to the room, then you don't talk to anybody. But this time, I stayed at Jal Uncle. You've been to Jal Uncle's house. He's got a big ramp, and one of his caretakers, when he comes on the scooter, he comes over the ramp, and then he just parks his bike right next to the door. So I told him, hey, it's very slick. Don't do that. Don't do that. And as it happened, we were at the breakfast table, and this guy was going home. As he was going down, he fell down. So that's when I yelled out, I knew this would happen. and Paco was there. Paco said, he put his, so I said, oops, sorry, Baba. And then, and more than anything else, what impressed me most was, you were there and it was raining and it was all slushy, muddy, MPR, it was fine. You guys were going in bus, but at the hostels, the conditions were, not really, for anybody to stay. But in spite of that, so many people thronged, to, lower Merazad, just to be at the Samadhi. That was moving. I was really impressed. And these guys, put up with such hardships there,
And they didn't complain, Rag. That is the main thing. They don't complain.
They don't complain. I was about to say, the only solace is the food at Hostel D is much better. Yeah. No, but
what was the second time you missed out or broke your silence?
And that day, when we were there, Jal Uncle's dog, had a litter.
Oh, on that day?
On that day. It had, it delivered a litter of, 6 little puppies. So then there was dog. Jal Uncle has one dog, which is very vicious, So last time the dog had a litter, it went and killed, 4 of them. So the door was not locked. So so I was telling after it delivered, I said, make sure that Blackie doesn't come here and close the door properly. And then I realized, oops. So those 2 times I just broke my silence.
Okay, one of those things. And anything about the Dhuni? Anything special that you felt?
I wasn't there for Dhuni. I just come back home to do my homework. So
you'll be being a good student now. Good boy.
Yeah.
Good boy.
So if not in my early, in teens and early 20s, maybe in mid 60s, I'm trying to become a good student.
Mr. Jimmy Khan, are you listening?
Yeah. Yes. I've just come back.
Could you please come on and tell us about your ideas on silence and etc., etc.?
Well, this time I couldn't make it. It was very unfortunate. I've missed it in the past also, but observing silence at home and observing silence at Mehrabad, very, very different cup of tea. Like Jenny said, it's quite a challenge to do it at home. When others are talking and you want to observe silence, to begin with, it's not that, well, you do observe silence, but there's no peace of mind. There's just no peace of mind. At Mehrabad, everybody is silent, so you're part of the flow, which is not so at home. A couple of times I did break my silence, but then that's okay. You say sorry and get on. But a lot of mental disturbance. This is what I felt. Secondly, on the 12th, always see Dhuni live, but this time they did not project Dhuni because of too many people around. So that also I missed out. So all in all, this is it. To one has to live with it. Why I walked out as Ram was speaking is this time in Globe magazine, there is an article by a Western Baba lovers about the challenges like what Janice told us, but much more intense. How he goes through a silence day is something which you almost feel that this is a fiction, that somebody has written a fiction. So all those who are subscribing to Globe magazine, I would suggest get your hand on that Globe magazine. I'm sorry I couldn't find it, so I can't tell you the name of the article. But do try and figure out the article about Silence Day. What this man goes through and how he comes clean. Some fabulous story, how Baba helps him throughout. Something that one needs to read to just comprehend how far Baba can go to help you.
May I just go and get the copy of the Glow magazine, Jimmy? You
Please,
carry on
please
speaking.
do.
Yeah.
Please do, please do. The silence day throws its own challenges. I've been observing silence since maybe I was in my 20s. And initially, when Baba was in his body, we had this option of either observing silence or do fast for 12 hours. It was in those days, it was 12, sorry. It was 12 hours fasting from 8 to 8. So those who were working did fasting, and those who were not working, youngsters or otherwise those who were retired or housewives, they observed silence. But then one time Baba said, only silence, no more fasting. So we switched over to silence, and we would stay at home. We would take a casual leave and prefer to stay at home and observe silence. So we've gone through this. Now, once I was in London. This was in 1980, July. And I'd gone with my friends, and we were sitting in a room and we were chatting. It was on the 9th night. I repeat, it was on the 9th night. And we kept talking about it, and suddenly I realized, I'm looking at my watch, and it was 12:30 midnight. It was 12:30, and I suddenly realized, I said, oh gosh. And since then, observed silence for the day. And that day, my toothache was absurd. It was so painful, yet I went through the silence. In 2005, I was touring the Southeast Asia, and we were coming from Malaysia to Singapore by train, and from Singapore to Mumbai by plane. So my silence was not 24 hours, my silence was 30 plus hours. Because Baba said that you got to observe silence as per your local timing. So wherever I am, I'm observing my silence. So my silence started in the train because we were traveling by train from Malaysia to Singapore. So we come to the Singapore airport, Changi airport, and we are in the hall from where you enter the aircraft, maybe the gate, whatever. And I said, and there is an announcement that everyone from Mumbai flight please board the aircraft. I suddenly realized that I can't find my boarding pass. And I'm trying, and I'm looking at all the pockets everywhere, and I just can't find the boarding pass. Without boarding pass, I can't enter. And then everybody walks in, the whole hall is empty. Then my wife and my daughter, they gave me a dirty look. And they walked inside, and my son and me in the whole big complex, we are the only two. And my son got upset with me and he said, Dad, you'll have to speak. What is it? So I did the signaling to him and I said, go to the counter where there were these two girls with the computers. And I said, you know, what I meant is tell them to give me a duplicate boarding pass. So he goes to the counter and they only tell him my seat number, the row and seat number. That's all he brings. So there I am without boarding pass. So he enters the aircraft. Behind me, I enter the aircraft. Yeah, but in between, there is this conversation between me and Mayor Baba. And I keep telling Baba, Baba, please help me, Baba, please. And he won't help me. He was challenging me. I don't know what he was doing. He was up to mischief. And I said, Baba, please, now enough. Baba, please. Okay, good. But please, Baba, I'm not going to speak, but please give me my boarding pass. I'm sunk over here, Baba, please. And he kept on smiling and laughing, but he would never give me my boarding pass. And I said, Baba, now look, do you want me to stay at Singapore or what is it? You want me to miss my flight? Will you please give me my pass, boarding pass? And no, nothing new. Finally, long and short, I walk behind my son. He shows his boarding pass and I walk behind him and I'm in the aircraft. They didn't ask me for boarding pass, which is very unusual. Anyway, I entered the aircraft. I knew my seat number, so I take my seat. And it's harsh. Now it's going to be India. It's going to Mumbai. Nobody's going to ask me for anything. So it's okay. I didn't give up to Baba. I didn't give up. I didn't speak. So we land at Bombay airport, customs, etc., etc. We are out. Now I'm with my wife, my son, and my daughter. I look like a family man. So I got all of us had one trolley each, and we are walking through, and I'm pushing my trolley. There are these two guys in white uniform. They were customs officers. So they stopped me in my tracks and they're asking my name. I'm silent. So I'm trying to tell my wife. She just turns around, fortunately for me. And I'm trying to signal my wife to tell them what my name is. And she didn't know what they had asked me. So she's all agitated. She's asking me, what is it? And I'm trying to tell her, tell them my name. See, what they did was, what these customs officers do is they try to check if you're smuggling somebody else's bag and walking out. But these idiots couldn't see that I've got two children with me. I've got a wife. I'm a family member. Did I look like a crook? Maybe I did look like a crook, but whatever it is, this is it. This is it. And finally she realized that, but before she could realize, this customs officer says, they said, okay, go. So this is it. I come home. I put my hand in my top pocket and I remove a few like Baba's photo, ID card, etc. And there comes the boarding pass.
Yeah.
It was there all throughout. It was there. I got so worked up and it was there, right there in my top pocket. And I had not found it. So I won and Baba lost for a change.
Jimmy, did he go back? Did he go back to Singapore to show them your boarding pass?
No, fortunately not for me. So this is another story. This is it. Okay, so basically this is it.
Definitely, he does test you, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I can share one, I was hooked on to, Starbucks coffee, when I was in US, and I would just every morning religiously, I would go get my, coffee. And Silence Day also I would go, initially I used to write on on a piece of paper, I'm observing silence, what I wanted, I would go to the same store. Well, it was very dangerous, I mean, initially I thought people might mistake me for somebody, maybe I'm just trying to rob them or something like that. But luckily, none of those things happened. But what happened was, you would get it, and I just sneezed, and somebody said, "Bless you." Instinctively, I said, "Thank you." So so it's somewhere or other, somewhere, you. But when I'm home here in India, none of those things are at my at Mehraba at in MPR. It never happened. I never broke silence. Yeah. All right. With that, I have to get back to my class.
Jai
Thanks,
Baba,
everybody. Jai Meher Baba.
be a good boy and do your homework properly.
Oh, I
Thank
will.
you. Jai
Okay.
Baba.
Jai Baba.
Okay, this is the Glow magazine that Jimmy Khan was talking about. I don't know if you can all see it. And the article is John Mayer narrates his unusual experiences of celebrating Silence Day. Please get your hands on this magazine and make sure you read this article.
Fabulous, unbelievable story, fabulous.
Yeah. Okay. Since we are on this topic, I would like to bring back the seriousness of the silence. We talk about it very lightly. We confess to our breaking it once in a while and again doing it, this, that, and the other. But what Meher Baba actually wants, what he actually wants is the silencing of the mind, which is so very, very difficult. And as much as I try, all the various kinds of thoughts which have never happened before keep coming to my mind, and all sorts of things, funny things keep happening, and I turn out a loser as far as silencing the mind is concerned. So, my dear friends, silence is something unique. And the best quote of Meher Baba on silence is what we see at the Samadhi: things that are real are given and received in silence. I repeat, things that are real are given and received in silence. And the example to explain this would be when a young couple, boy and a girl, are madly in love with each other and they are sitting at, say, Marine Drive or beach or somewhere like that. The boy keeps telling the girl, "Darling, I love you, you're so beautiful, blah, 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 blah," charawing her. And the girl also puts her head on the shoulder and she says, "I also love you." And this thing keeps going on time and again. When they are finally united together and they are in love, the love is consolidated. All that they do is just hold each other's hand and not a word is exchanged. And yet, each one knows that the other one loves him or her extremely. So, this is what the power of silence is all about. It is the most powerful weapon man can have, according to me. And after we graduate from silencing the mouth, the talk, what we have to try and achieve is the goal of silencing the mind. And that in itself is a very, very difficult thing. Now, I would like to ask Archana Grover if she is around to please tell us about her experience during silence.
And Bhikkhu is on, huh? Bhikkhu is also come.
Oh, good. Archana, give me a minute. Bhikkhu? Bhikkhu? Hello, Bhikkhu Setna?
Yes, speaking.
Bhikkhu, I would like you to do me a favor after Archana finishes the talk. I would like you to sing Jamu Pe Jaan Pila De.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead, Archana.
Yes, Sam. Jai Baba, everybody.
Jai Baba.
At the onset, I have been observing silence since I came to Baba. That is since 2006. And every year, initially, I didn't really understand what was meant by Silence Day. I just maintained that quiet, and I would be in Mehrabad most of the times. I would be there with the trip that Jimmy Khan took us on. And that was it. But now, as I have come into Baba's fold, I see a major change in my perspective of what silence is all about, what Baba really wanted us to do on that day. And this year, when I started the silence, like everybody said, they had challenges. I too had happy challenges. I had a function to attend, which went on till the midnight of the 9th. And I had another function to attend, a family function, which started in the evening of the 10th and went on till midnight and beyond the midnight of the 10th. But like my family even suggested, why do you want to maintain it? Why don't you give it up? I said, no, this is not a ritual that I'm doing. I'm doing it out of love and respect for my master, who has observed it for 44 years for our welfare, for the welfare of us erring human beings. And besides this, I had read a WhatsApp from about on the Divine Love group. There was a quote from Mani Irani, which said, beloved Baba observed silence for all these years. And for one day, he has said, we can share it with him too. How blessed we are. So when my family was trying to dissuade me, this is what got me to hold on to him. And I had made up my mind, I will observe it come what may. Now I did. I began my day with listening to Baba's Naman and several other musical things on the YouTube, of course, with my earplugs on. And I enjoyed total bliss doing that, because while doing that, I felt I was continuously remembering him, which is, I think, what he wants of us from the little that I know about, whatever I have read about what he wanted us to do, his will and his wish for all of us. And then the day went on, being a Sunday, everybody at home and all that. But I still managed, with his grace, he helped me to keep it, and not only keep it, but keep on remembering him while I was doing my daily cause, while I was, serving the family their lunch, and even while I was getting ready to go for the function, all of that. So I am so grateful to him, because I have realized the profundity of this silence. And I feel there is so much we can absorb from just that silence, because I felt his presence throughout. I felt he was by my side, because I was so apprehensive whether I would be able to maintain it. I felt I might just, make a mistake sometime, but I remembered your words, Sam, when you said last Thursday, even by mistake, if you utter something, just ask for forgiveness and get back to the same silence mode. So that assurance was there. But in my heart, I wish to do it absolutely and wholeheartedly for him. So so the basic thing I feel about silence, and whenever I was alone and introspecting, that is what I felt was silence, is you should introspect and try, at least I try, to get rid of all my negativities, all the darker side of me. Whatever wrong is within me, I try to think of him and take his help, and try to ask him to help me do away with whatever is unwanted in me. Like a sculptor, how he chisels a stone and removes the unwanted things, and the best thing emerges. That is always my wish on Silence Day now. Initially, this was not the case, but I make a conscientious effort to get his grace on this. Now, I don't know when that will be, but I'm trying very hard. I try to still my mind, like you rightly said. I try to silence my mind, because the mind, I think, is something that really takes you off the route, off the path. So I try my best, and I always take his help. Absolutely his help. I had written a poem in 2019 when, our family was going through a little roller coaster ride, so to say. So if you wish, can I just read a few lines of that, Sam?
Please do, go ahead.
Okay. So it was Silence Day 2019. In keeping the silence, I try to silence the mind of
Wow.
untoward thoughts and ideas. I try to delve within my inner being and probe my darker side, in the hope of erasing deeply embedded wrongs, of failing hopes against hope, of tarnished memories, of gleeful moments, of subdued tears and feelings of my kin, of pains secretly hidden behind dimpled smiles. It just gets too much to fathom. I break free from these reeling thoughts and still my mind with your divine silence. For as you always bring to the fore, things that are real are given and received in silence. Your silence, Baba, is the balm I long to have. I silently fold my hands in humility, begging you to grant my kin what they truly deserve. You are the master, and to you I surrender. For I know accepting your will has always been by far the best bet in any adverse situation. For you know the best and the best. My heart oozes with gratitude to you, Baba, my beloved, for the present now. So this is what I wrote last. I read it to explain to you that when I began keeping silence, it was a very superficial thing. And I feel there is some little droplets of progress coming in my being, if I can say so. And I just wish for his grace to descend on all of us. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba Archana, thank you very much for this beautiful sharing.
Thank you.
I would like to ask one question to all of us, because I don't know if I am the only idiot who feels that way, or do any of y'all also feel the same? Okay, the next morning after, that is on the 11th, I really don't feel like talking. I feel as though I could continue. If things went on smoothly, or with a small snags in between, if I could manage that one day, where is the need to talk? And I don't know if any of you have felt like that. If you all have, please raise your hands and you can share it. Nobody else has felt like that? Archana Grover, go ahead. Thank you. I thought I was the only idiot.
Yes, I did feel like that. And more so, there's a little humor to this. My husband was the happiest when I was silent on Silence Day. So,
Oh, yes. What a relief he must have had.
yes.
Okay, great. Anybody else? Somebody else?
Janice hand is up.
Janice.
Yes,
ahead, Janice.
uncle. I just didn't want to speak the next day again. I just wanted to observe silence through. But as we had to proceed with the work and the day-to-day routine work, I mean, I spoke as much required till the time I was like in the afternoon. Then I had to speak the regular to go on with the work and all. But yes, even I'm sure there are many more who don't feel like speaking, the next day after the silence day. So yes, uncle. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, now I'd like Mr. Bhikhu Setna to sing this ghazal, Jam Pe Jam Pila De. He sang it at the Samadhi and I liked it very much. We've heard it before, so I hope you all like it also. Go ahead, Bhikha.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
मेहर के सागर से मेहर की धारा बहती है जी भर के पीले पीले जाम पे जाम उठा ले जाम पे जाम उठा ले ओ मेहर के सागर से मेहर की धारा मेहर के सागर से मेहर की धारा बहती है जी भर के पीले पीले जाम पे जाम उठा ले जाम पे जाम उठा ले सरिता का बहना जो उसका धर्म है यूं बहती हरदम मेहर की मेहर है प्यासा अगर तू है तो जा किनारे प्यासा अगर तू है तो जा किनारे जाम पे जाम उठा ले जाम पे जाम उठा ले मांगे से मिलती नहीं है किसी को तैयार है जो मिलता उसी को तन मन लगा दे खुद को मिटा दे तन मन लगा दे खुद को मिटा दे जाम पे जाम उठा ले जाम पे जाम उठा ले सूरज चमकता है सारे जहां पर जंगल हो बगिया हो कुटिया महल पर चमके वहां जिसने खोली किवारे चमके वहां जिसने खोली किवारे जाम पे जाम उठा ले जाम पे जाम उठा ले तुझसे तो पहले उसको गरज है क्या तू है तैयार वो देखता है क्या सोचता मधुसूदन समझ ले क्या सोचता मधुसूदन समझ ले जाम पे जाम उठा ले जाम पे जाम उठा ले मेहर के सागर से मेहर की धारा मेहर के सागर से मेहर की धारा बहती है जी भर के पीले पीले जाम पे जाम उठा ले जाम पे जाम उठा ले जय बाबा
Thank you very much, Bhikhu. Thank you very much. A few thoughts on this song and its words. Amongst Sufis, they always compare this love for God or God intoxication to the jam and the sharab, or the wine, the divine wine. And when one gets an opportunity to have a few drops, even a few drops of that divine wine, it is blissful, is the word I can say. And I hope all of us experience it in some measure or the other. Kisi ko zyada, kisi ko kam, doesn't matter. But ye jo, the divine wine which keeps flowing all the time from Baba. All depends तुम्हारा कप कितना बड़ा है, उसमें भर के पी के खुशी मनाओ, is what I would like to say. Now, I would like to narrate a incident about this Silence Day, which was more of an adventure than anything else. And this happened many years ago. The times when we were staying at MPC, Mayor Pilgrim Center. And it so happened that I was staying at the MPC, and suddenly a little over 11 o'clock in the morning, I get a message. Somebody tells me, Jal wants to see you in the office. So I went running over there, and he said, Sam, I want you to volunteer for some work. Are you ready? I said, yes. And he said, I need one more person. So then different people were called, and people asked. I hadn't even asked. People asked, what sort of a work do you want us to do, Jal? And he said, well, a gentleman has died last night, and we want his body to be delivered to his family in Mumbai. And everybody said, Baba, I'm supposed to observe silence and this, that, and the other. So a lot of people backed out. Finally, Jimmy Khan's brother-in-law, Manchi Surti, agreed to join me. So him and I, we both of us decided to travel along. And I must say, the Jal Dastur, being what he is, he'd organized the whole thing so beautifully. He had rented an ambulance, and he gave us a death certificate. He gave us no objection for transporting the body, blah, 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 all the paperwork concerned. And we set off. And I still remember somewhere around Supa, there was just this, in those days, there was not much of rainfall in Nagar, but there was this drizzle, and we took it as Baba's shower of blessings upon us. So we, incidentally, the gentleman whose body we were bringing happened to be Apna Noshiman Narawala's father-in-law. Anyway, we pass many hitches and we come, and Manchi, poor chap, I mean, this is the funny part of it. I'm not trying to run down anybody, but Manchi had never accompanied a dead body kind of a thing. And he was kind of scared. And me being an idiot that I am, I kept joking, he's raising this one hand and he's winking at me and this and that. And Manchi kind of got a bit panicky, and he said, Sam, please don't talk like that. I'm not in a mood for all these things. And I still remember as we were approaching Bombay, somewhere at Chembur, it was rather late in the evening, around 7:30, 8ish. It was quite dark. And I said, Manchi, now his both eyes are open and he's watching us. And this Manchi stopped the ambulance car. He jumped off from there and he bought a bunch of agarbattis and he lit them so that at least there could be some light to see what was happening. Anyway, somehow or the other, we managed to come back to Mumbai. My cousin Jimmy Patel, I still remember, had organized things around here in this part. And the family was there and we delivered the body at Camp's Corner, that Parsi Tower of Silence thing. And then we came home to my house for a cup of tea and some refreshments and all that. And then we suddenly realized it is nearing 12 o'clock. So the question was, should we start observing silence or just carry on because we've done this great big job and all that nonsense? So we both decided that we will observe the silence. So the two of us land up at VT station because we had to take a train to Pune. From Pune, Shivaji Nagar, we had to get off and take a bus to Mehrabad, Kinetic Chowk. And from there, take a rickshaw and come to. So we managed to get the ticket, write it down and say Pune, 2 tickets, blah, blah, blah. And we settled in the train. And then in the train, we were rather hungry. So whenever there was this Batata Vada fellows at Karjat and all that, it was famous for, I would call them and, in sign language, ask for 2 portions and this, that, and the other. And the people around, I heard one of them saying, "Arey bichare itne juwan log hai aur bichare gunge bahre hai kya?" Something like that. People looked at us with kind of sad. Anyway, we land at Shivaji Nagar. We get off, take the ST mein, we wrote down Mehrabad and showed it to them and we got the tickets to ST में चल रहे थे. Kinetic Chowk पे हम लोग उतरे and the rickshaw arrived and he's saying, "Uthe jaya chahe, where do you want to go?" Now that man probably was illiterate, so although I wrote Mehrabad, he couldn't read it. So then suddenly a man comes walking and he sees this kind of action going on between the two of us. So he looks at the rickshaw driver, he laughs and he says, "Are ye don gunge aaj Mehrabad jayenge because aaj ye log bolenge nahi, tumi te lokla Mehrabad geun ja." So that is how we came back again and we continued with our silence. It was a very beautiful experience because we'd done our good deed for the day and continued with our silence the next day. So I still remember that quite vividly. And God bless that old man's soul wherever he is. But this was my story. Thank you. Any comments?
He was Mr. Hataria,
Haan ji.
Nosirwan's wife, Mahruk's father.
So Noshirwan's father-in-law, yeah.
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 And poor guy, he had fallen behind his bed in MPC of the whole night. And nobody knew about it. It was a maid who came and said, "Kon gedle lai." Poor guy. And he told his wife that, "Let me go for the last time."
Oh.
And his words were prophetic. He really went to Mehrabad for the last time, but he went to Baba for all times.
Jai Baba.
Yeah. Jai Baba.
Yes.
There's a poem. There's a poem I've written, and I would like to read if there's no one. If there's no one.
Areva, now I should change your name from Jimmy Khan to Jimmy Brabazon. Jai Baba, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. I have written a lot of poems, and this one I wrote when I was at Mehrabad on the 10th of July 2013, outside the Samadhi. Mostly I would carry paper and pen because I know that I will write something outside Samadhi. But this time I didn't have paper and pen on me. So I mentally wrote it down. I call it conceptualize on the 10th of July. But on the 14th of July, when I came home, I pressed the recall button and I wrote down on paper and pen.
Areva.
So this is how the poem goes. JFK, that's me, JFK. Why are you so silent, dear Baba, dear Baba? Why are you so silent? Then the response, MSI, Nirvan Sharia Rani. I'm never silent, oh Jimmy, oh Jimmy. I've never been. The birds on the branches, the leaves on the trees, the cows on the meadows, the men on the streets, the singer on the stage and on the streets, the strings of the musical instrument, the pipes of the organ, the skin of the drums, the whisper of the lovers. You talked about the whisper of the lovers. The hum of the bees, the crackling of dry leaves, the clapping of the clouds, the thunder in the sky, the howling of the winds, the cry of the babies, the voice within. That is me, oh Jimmy, oh Jimmy. That is me. Enjoy them in me. That's it.
Very nice. Very nice, Jimmy. Mayor Darwala has raised the hand. Go ahead, Mayor.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Some uncle wanted me to read that thing.
Yes, please. She has also written a poem. We've got quite a few poets lined up today.
The wisdom.
When we are supposed to be silent, the poets come out with poetries. Kamal hai ye bhi. Anyway.
The wisdom. Oh, my only fellow man who craves his thoughts for his deepest in the ocean of love. I kneel down and bow down to you in the very true love of your eternal Father, Meher Baba. I cling on to your Daman to light and love in the deeper shadows of joy, where I move more and more, you are holding hand and bringing me to the level of love and great thoughts in the sparkle of wine. I have risen up to shine in three upmost thoughts, which the wisdom has ever been taught by you, my eternal Father. 1, love in the silent way. 2, never show the sad thoughts in the deepest ways. Life shows silent smile. 3, cling onto your Daman has changed my life in a magical moment. Jai Baba.
Jai Meher Baba. Mayor, thank you very much. Could you put your hand down, the raised hand? Can you remove it, please? Thank you. Now, since everybody is coming out with their poems, even I'd like to, why should I feel left out? So, my poem is a very long one. It's about 1.5 hours. And I hope you all listen to it without getting bored. It goes like this. This is what I mainly recite at the Samadhi. Baba Merwan, have you any school? Baba Merwan, have you any school? Yes, sir, this whole world full. One for the scoundrels, one for the thieves, one for the scoundrels, one for the thieves, and one for the chosen few who come up on this hill. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai. Any comments? किसी को नहीं पसंद आया तो पैसा वापस. Please take your
That
money.
was very cute, uncle.
This is
Sam, I loved it when I heard it for the first time in Samadhi years ago.
Are Perin Jai Baba. Haan.
Oh, I said, oh, Sam, you come up with the best. Thank you, thank you. Jai Mar Baba.
Since you come on, it suddenly reminded me, Eraj Jasawala had me write it down and give it to him, and he kept it.
Oh, sweet.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a year or two back, Devana gave me a slip where Eraj had copied it in his own hands and made this thing.
Oh,
He
nice.
kept it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
This is the limited offering of a man who has a limited mind. Jai Baba.
Jai Mar Baba. Thank you.
Okay. Perin, would you like to share something? I saw you saw Godrej screening the video from the Samadhi and all that. So you've always been participating in all these days at the morning aartis and everything. Would you like to tell us something about the silence, if you observed it or not observed it or whatever? Can you please do it?
Sure. If there is no one else, I can just say a
Yeah,
few
go ahead.
words.
Go ahead. Yes, of course.
No, I observed it. It was beautiful. It was really lovely. This particular year, I had absolutely no challenges. Baba made it very special, very deep. I felt Baba all the time. I did not feel I was away. As I wrote to Godrej at the end after the last Aarti, Baba had spoiled me through him, and I truly meant that, because I was right there with all of you and Baba, of course. In the past year, while we were talking about the challenge, there is one story I can tell you.
Please do.
This was many years ago. Let me think what year. Okay, 2012. My husband Adi went through his cancer surgery that year. And he was admitted July the 5th of that year. So I was very anxious. I said, oh, Baba, will I be able to observe the silence? And, my heart was saying, yes, I will observe silence, but how will I manage at the hospital? Because I really didn't think that Baba will send him back before July the 10th home. So at that time, Bauji was there. I used to write to Bauji, so I wrote to Bauji. Bauji always responded to me very quickly. And Bauji said, no, don't worry. If you are at the hospital with him and you are not able to observe silence, don't worry about it. You do your duty. So I said, fine. But I had said that I will not break it unless I'm really forced to break it, because I will do with my writing of the notes and all that. But what was most beautiful, even then, Baba spoiled me, as I say, is, which I didn't expect. On July the 8th, his health went down very badly, and I did not expect him to come home at all for the 10th. But the doctor came back and he said, it's okay, these things happen, don't worry about it. So perfect. And he was sent home July the 9th, and he was good. I was able to observe my full silence at home, 2012 as well. So no, Baba has spoiled me each time in many ways. And one of the last something really dear thing happened to me was, I have 3 granddaughters, my son's daughters. And I wrote to my son and my daughter-in-law that tomorrow is Silence Day. Tell the girls about him, remind him, tell them he observed silence for 44 years because they love Baba. They're very, very close to Baba right from birth. So Heather told them, my daughter-in-law told them. And what was most beautiful was my eldest granddaughter, who is 11 right now, she'll be 12 in September, said to the mother, what were Baba's last words? And that touched me the most. What were Baba's last words before he started the silence? And it was like I had goosebumps all over the body. No adults, I'm talking about Baba to so many people, no adults had ever asked, what were Baba's last words when he spoke? And here was this 11-year-old wanting to know what happened, what were Baba's last words. So the interesting thing that Baba taught me at this time was that at that time, I was about to sit down for my prayers and my silence, quietly. So I, like an idiot, write back saying, darling, I write to you very shortly. I'll find the pages from Lord Mayor and I will send them to you, and then you can read it. Well, I'll tell you honestly, I went up to my bedroom where I would sit. I have a beautiful Baba mantle, sit near there and all that. I went there and I'm about to start, but it's like, no, Baba doesn't want you to start. Baba wants you to reply to this girl right now. So I took out my 2 Lord Mayors. I copied those pages along with Baba's 1925 beautiful picture of silence. They would have it. And I sent it off. Well, Heather wrote me back and I wrote to her. I wrote to Maya. Her name is Maya. I wrote to Maya, Maya, please read it to your sisters. You can read it. Read it to your sisters, this whole thing. So I told them what was Baba's last song, when was Baba's last song, then what happened from July the 8th on. So when she read it, my daughter-in-law Heather writes back that they were in big, huge smiles. It's like Baba had connected with all 3 of them so beautifully. And that was a true Silence Day gift Baba gave me. Because after sending it off and before getting this answer from them, I was so much quiet. As you say, the mind was quiet. Yeah, I was observing silence. I was not speaking. But if I had not done this task, I don't think my mind would have been quiet. My mind would have said, oh, you didn't do it, you should do it, da, da, da. So here it was. So that has been a very, very special Baba gift this year for me. Thank you. Jai Baba.
This is a very touching thing, parent, very touching incident that you narrated just now. And there's so many of Baba's aspects that come into play about real happiness, making others happy. You made your kids happy. And yeah, there's so many things. See, what I have noticed, especially on this trip, that each and every person has their own plus and minus points. And one of the minus points that, if I may say, I'm not trying to run down anybody, but amongst most of us, the minus point was being selfish. In so many ways, I was trying to organize the bus rides and this, that, and the other. And instead of cooperating and helping, some of us were so selfish that it kind of annoyed. But this is the way Baba wants us to take the brickbats. So we did. One thing I must say, yesterday when we were returning back, the roads were horrible. There was heavy downpour, but we had a great big bus. So the journey was not too bad. except for a few bumpy rides towards the end of the bus and all that. And I kept calling people in Bombay to keep getting an update on the weather and whether any of the areas were waterlogged, this, that, and the other. Finally, I don't know what made me say this over the PA, the passenger address system. I told each and every one of the people in the bus, I said, "Bhai, we are all going to go through a bit difficult time. And I don't remember what exactly I said, but I said, "Ke bhai, let us go get out of this in good time so that when we encounter these problems in Mumbai and if the roads are flooded, we can have enough time to maneuver and get to our destination." And then I blurted out and I said, "I request each and every one of you to please for a moment close your eyes and pray to Baba to let up the skies open and stop this downpour so that we can all reach home safely." And just when this thing was said, I don't know whose prayer was accepted by Baba, but Godrej showed me a message saying the rains have not stopped, receded, and the sun is out. It was momentary, but it had happened. So what I'm trying to say is, कि भाई, when we pray collectively through the bottom of our hearts, He definitely listens to us. He definitely listens to us. Anybody wants
Sam,
to? Haji,
Sam,
yeah.
sorry. I think Godrej tried to send me a message because I can't see it. Godrej, did you want me to talk about the Baba picture at your home and you? Is
Huh?
that what you want me to talk about?
Sorry?
Godrej there? Can Godrej listen to me?
No, he's not there today.
Oh, okay. All right.
No.
Then I will speak. Unfortunately, because I'm already on the phone, I can't show you that picture. But
Doesn't-
I'll tell you the story. I'm guessing this is what he wants me to tell. So maybe a month ago, okay, a month ago, I do WhatsApp with Godrej every Sunday or whatever. And when we were talking, you remember when I did my Baba talk one time,
Yeah.
I told you that our house in India, in our Bombay, where we grew up, we had 3 pictures on the wall. We had Zoroaster in the middle, we had Baba on the right, and we had Jesus Christ on the left. So Godrej has now in his new home, where my parents lived also for the last few years, Zoroaster's there, Baba is there, and I have taken the Jesus. So I have Jesus here. But the story is, for this time, that Godrej sits on a chair in front of this Mer Baba's photo that is on the wall, that used to be in our house. And I can't remember what Parsi day it was, what Roj it was, but it was a special day, obviously. Baba was garlanded and the light was beautiful. Maybe Godrej will share this picture with you guys some other time. So I am talking to Godrej and I'm looking at Baba's frame, which is behind him. And you know what Baba's picture is? It's the one where he's sitting on that tiger skin. Okay,
yeah.
you know. All right. And his one hand is on his knee. His one hand is on his knee.
Yes.
At the side of that section, there is a little Baba face appear.
Oh.
So I am just talking to him, but I see Baba over there. in that frame. And I
Oh.
said, oh, good, Babaji frame for Babaji. So beautiful. And he says, where? I said, right there, Babana frame per, right about the side of his hand and the knee. So I said, you don't move. So he is sitting with his topi on his chair. There's the Baba frame behind. And I said, okay, let me take a picture. So I took the picture. Well, I sent it off to him that day. Maybe this was a month ago. Okay. If I went back, I'd be able to tell the exact date.
Jimmy is showing this
But-
picture.
Is he? Oh, wonderful. Go, they sent it. Show it. Yes. Thank you, Jimmy. Wonderful. So I don't know if you guys can see Baba. All right. Now, what happens? Why this became so that particular evening? Did everybody see it?
Yes, we can.
Wonderful. So can you see up there at that corner, right there above his hand? There is this little Baba face.
See the
Okay.
cursor. See my cursor.
Sorry.
I'm taking my cursor.
Oh,
there.
thank you. Oh, good. Take your cursor. Good.
Yeah, there, yeah. I don't know if you can see the cursor.
No, I can't, but it's okay. I can see Baba. No problem.
It's above his knee. It's above Baba's knee.
Barabar. On
Over
his hand. On his hand.
That's
Perfect.
right.
So why the story becomes very interesting. So I send it to him. He looks at it that night, evening, and he says, no, I can't see it. I said, try. He said, no, I can't see it. I said, fine. So we left it. But what happens on the Silence Day, because it's a part of my camera gallery on my phone, this particular picture comes to me as a very special picture that day. So I just say, oh, su picture aaj, what is being chosen? And sometimes it happens, I don't pay attention. Sometimes they pick up grandkids' photos. But this particular picture came that day on Silence Morning. So I sent it off to him and I said, Godrej, can you try to see Baba here now? And he just immediately wrote back, yes, absolutely clear. So again, I think the moral of the story, if there is any, is that Baba, when our mind is quieter, we will see him in most oddest of the places that we didn't expect. So this was a beautiful, beautiful gift for Godrej. And Baba did it through this camera picture that was taken a month ago. So him and I are very fortunate. We are like a good link to beloved Baba, and may we stay there always, holding Baba's hands with both, Baba's daman with both hands is what I mean. Thank you, guys. I took too much time, but I hope that is what Godrej wanted me to tell.
Sam, uncle, unmute yourself. Sam, uncle, you're on mute. Am I audible to all?
Okay,
Uncle,
sorry about this.
So Jai Baba,
Thank you very much, Perrin.
you're welcome. Thank you, Baba.
Since we are on this topic, Janice, could you bring to the screen the Avatar Meher Baba Center's picture and the Baba's, emphasize on
Yes.
the Baba's cutout
Yes.
we have?
Correct.
Is it visible?
Yeah.
Is it possible
Yes.
to extend this Baba's picture a little more? No.
No, uncle. But individually, if anybody is using the mobile, they can zoom in, I guess.
Okay. Now, this is nothing to do with the silence, but
Sam, 1 second, Sam.
Haan ji.
I had written to Godrej and I read, rain has stopped, sun is out, but the sky is still dull.
Also, it was you who had sent this message
Yeah,
after the prayers. Oh my
I
God.
had sent 11:43.
Hey, Baba. So Mr. Khan is in direct communication with MS Irani. Very nice, sir. Okay.
Uncle, I'll try and share that picture. Just give me a minute.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. This is a repeat. Probably some of us may have heard me recite this incident. It happened on one of the Sundays at our center. Usually in those days when we used to have physical meetings, Sunday was my turn to open the center in good time so that people would come in and then the meeting would start. So we have this old lady called, oh my God.
Manik.
Manik. What's her last name?
Manik Kasad.
Manik Kasad. Yes, correct. She, for reasons best known to her, always lands up very, very early. Like if I'm there at 4:30, she would be there by 4:15. And she would always tell me, Chalani, you're so late. And I said, Baba, there's still 5:30 is there. Anyway, she would always come in very early. So on this one fine Sunday evening, I had just opened the center, done the cleaning, dusting, whatever. And people are streaming in. In walks Manik Kasad. She does that garlanding of the frame. There's the main frame where the Darbar pose is. And then she picks up a rose. And I'm just watching unintentionally, I'm busy doing my work, but I'm just seeing what she's doing. And I see her bow down to Baba's picture, and then she walks up to this cutout. We call it the cutout because it is mounted on a wooden thing, and it's a permanent picture. She walks up over there, she bows down, and I don't know if she did kiss or not, I don't know, but she walks towards Baba's hand, which is resting on that knee. Perrin, you had mentioned this, no? The hand resting on the knee. So she walks up over there, and amongst these two fingers, she fixes that rose ka dandi, and the rose gets stuck over there. She does that, and it's quite a usual sight, so I don't give much attention to it. Now she starts walking away from there, and she is murmuring to herself a bit loudly so I could hear. She says, Baba, pakrine rakjo, hold this rose properly. She's talking to him. She walks a little further up. She turns around to see if the rose is still there. The rose was very much there. Now here's the best part. She looks at the picture and she says, good boy, you're holding it properly. What? She didn't say you're holding it properly. She just said, good boy, hold on to it properly. Now, this to me was the purest form of love that I have seen. It's like, well, how can I describe it? It's not a mother telling the son or whatever. But this old lady calling Baba, good boy, and she just went away. And this thing has stuck in my head ever since. This is what love is all about. You can take liberties to talk to Baba any which way you want to, as long as it is from the bottom of your heart. Folks, it's coming up to nearly 7 o'clock. We've got 6 minutes to go. Does anyone want to narrate
I
any
just-
answer?
I just want to say one thing.
Haan
The
ji?
little difference between the cutout picture and the one on our Godrej's home, our home, Baba's hair is flowing.
Acha.
Okay, Apra cutout ma, his
Yeah.
hair is tied back.
Okay.
Okay, other than that, the same.
Same picture. Yeah.
Yes, I believe so. Jai Baba.
Jai Mer Baba. Thank you, Perrin. Anybody wants to share anything?
Yes, if nobody is speaking,
Please go ahead, Jimmy. Go ahead.
I'm reading something. It's not a poem, but I'm reading something where it says how silence is better than speech. Silence overrides speech. And it goes like this. But Baba's wording is, come to receive not so much of my words, but of my silence. I repeat, come to receive not so much of my words, but of my silence. Now, the power of silence. Speech needs company. Silence needs solitude. Speech wants to conquer others. Silence helps conquer oneself. Speech makes friends or foes. Silence befriends all. Speech demands respect. Silence commands it. Speech is earthbound. Silence is heaven-bound.
Wow.
Speech educates. Silence exalts. Speech is subjective. Silence is objective. Speech has regrets. Speech has, one second, please, sorry. Speech has regrets. Silence has none. Speech has limitations. Silence is boundless. Speech needs effort. Silence a lot more. Speech is human. Silence is divine. While speaking, you are heard by creatures. In silence, you are heard by Creator. Silence leads to the stillness of the mind, then to introspection, then to self-cleansing, finally to liberation. I'll read this 4 again. Silence leads to the stillness of the mind, then to introspection, then to self-cleansing, finally to liberation. Author not known.
Very nice, Jimmy. Beautiful. Mayor Daruwala, you want to say something?
Yes, Sam uncle, I want to tell about yesterday about coming. Can I?
Yeah, very briefly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yesterday, when Sam uncle announced that, we should just go straight to the food court, many people must have felt, oh, why can't we stop for going to the toilet or go anywhere else, get down. So I could make out that, no, we have to listen to our people and we have to listen. Baba's guiding us the right way. What Sam uncle is saying is that the Baba's guiding us to go to this thing, move fast, because he knew that there is a shower of rain everywhere. But we came and Baba brought us so nicely and everything. Luckily. Jai Baba. Thank you.
Thank you. I kept seeing Baba's hand every. You see, I'd reached a point where I gave up. Not only during this return journey, but also when we were going to Merazad, because the roads had all changed and there was a lot of confusion. When I go through this kind of a situation, I just give up and hand it over to Baba, and then he takes over and everything falls into place somehow. May his grace always be upon us to help us out in our times of need. Godrej, go ahead. You've raised your hand.
Yeah, Sam, just on the lighter side, on the Silence Day, everybody who were coming on the bus, they took the advantage for coming late, 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late. They
Ah,
shout at them today. So they took all that advantage. Okay, that's it.
that's typical Bawajis, typical Bawajis, I tell you. But all in all, it was great fun. Somehow or the other, today we kept talking about silence, silence, and silence, and we haven't mentioned anything about the Dhuni. Also, I would like to add that today has been a very interactive session where not just one speaker talks and everybody sits down to listen, everybody participates. And I think I like this format a lot more. This is how we used to conduct our sessions in the center when we had physical meetings. So please be active to log in and to participate and share whatever little bit you want to say. Before we depart, I would like some of you to suggest a topic so that everybody has a chance of preparing themselves or thinking about giving their thoughts on that particular topic for the next week's session. Can anybody suggest anything? Godrej, you want to suggest?
Sam, why not Dhuni itself?
Dhuni itself? Okay.
Why not? Why not start with that?
Okay. So the topic for discussion next week will be Dhuni. Okay. Everybody clear and happy? Nobody's saying yes also, no
Yes.
also, nothing.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay,
Yes,
yes,
yes.
yes. 3 times.
Ah,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, my Baba.
Until I have the
Archana,
pic. You want me to show the picture?
yeah, please go ahead. Ah, so this is where she had put the rose. Can you see my cursor? Yeah. This is where she fixed the rose, and like a good boy, Baba was holding on to it. ये प्रेम, इसी को प्रेम कहते हैं. This is what you call love. There are no words to it. There are no words to it. I cannot express this in any other form. Love has no language, and because it has no language, I find no words to express it either. Thank you very much, everybody. We shall now.
Sam, one sec, Sam.
Please go ahead.
You started off what with Bombay and Godrej at Tata Powers.
Haji.
Godrej had risen to such height in the management that he had once signed an agreement with the union on behalf of the management.
Oh, wow.
So if you are middle management level, you cannot sign on behalf of the management with the union. You got to be one of the top guys, because that is when the authority comes to sign. So that's what I wanted to say, that Godrej had reached quite a good height being an engineer at Tata Powers.
So what about our union at the Bombay Center? Will he sign the union agreement at the Bombay Center?
No, he'll sign on behalf of union.
Acha. Jai Baba, everybody. It's been a lovely session. We've got to learn a lot of things from each other, and that is what the session is all about. We can go on like this for hours and hours, but time, Baba always wanted us to be conscious of the time and things. Incidentally, talking about being conscious about time, Cyrus Kambata is very particular about the timings. And poor chap, he's been laid up in a hospital because of dehydration. So whenever you remember Baba, try and send up a small prayer for him so that it helps him recover faster. Thank you, everybody. Archana Grover, may you please recite the Aarti. Before she does the aarti, I would like to make a correction. Couple of sessions ago, I had said that this rendition of the aarti is the best one I've heard. Perhaps, now I stand corrected, perhaps it is not the exact tune which Baba had approved of. So I just want to make that point clear before Archana gets into the singing mode. Go ahead, Archana.
So I do the same, Bhujavinar, Aarti.
Or whichever comes to your mind, whatever.
Whatever you wish, Sam, you tell me.
You can sing Silent Night, Holy Night, because we've been doing silence. No, go ahead, whatever, whichever you like.
Okay, so I'll do Jahan Kalpana today.
All right, okay. It is on Baba's prompting that you sing.
Yeah, I
not me.
just got, yes.
Yeah.
Jai Baba.
Jai Mere Baba.
Jahan Kalpana शब्द न पहुँचे ऐसे अपरंपार नेति नेति वेद पुकारे महिमा तोरी अपार दिव्य सनातन परम दयादन दिव्य सनातन परम दयादन हे जगुदाधारो मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो ओ धूप दीप चंदन चर्चाना भोग लगाना फूल चढ़ाना तुम राही तुमको लौटाना काहे बड़ाई करूं मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो ओ सकल निधि के तुम कारण हो सकल विश्व तारन हारे हो तुम सम और नहीं तुम ही हो हे सत्य अवतारो मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो ओ सकल चराचर तुम्हारी माया माया भी तुम्हारी छाया तुमरा अंत न कोई पाया तुम हो अनंत करो मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो ओ अपने को जब जो नहीं जाने महिमा तुम्हारी क्या पहचाने जो कुछ भी कहते अनजाने गुण गाते तुमरो मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो ओ सीमा नाही तुम्हारी कृपा को, क्या कोई दे सकता प्रभु को। भीख तुम्ही दो प्रेमी जनों को, नित्य तुम्हें सुमरो मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो, मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो। ओ दिव्य सनातन परम दयाघन, दिव्य सनातन परम दयाधन, हे जग दुगारो मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो, मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो, मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय, अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय, अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
Thank you, Archana.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think from now on, we make it as a standard procedure about the reciting of artis as per the original tunes laid out and sung before Meher Baba. The reason being, as the generations change, things are definitely going to get diluted. But as long as our generation who has seen and things at first hand, let us stick to the original words and original tunes as far as possible. This is my request to all of you. Whenever you do your prayers and arti, please try and adhere to it, because that would make Baba happy, is what I feel. Do you all agree to agree? Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. Janice,
Yes, Uncle.
your final parting speech, please.
Indeed. Thank you, Baba, for everything. Such an amazing session. Thank you all for participating. So, till we meet again next week, stay safe, take care, and see you again next week. Baba Negeba.
Do you really think it was an amazing session, or you just kept saying it like a popat?
I meant it. At least I meant it. I mean, we can take a feedback.
Okay, great. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all. I'll end the meeting for all. Avtar Meher
Baba,
Baba.
Meher Baba
take
ki
Baba
jai.
with you. Take
Ki jai.
Baba with you.
Avtar Meher Baba
Meher
ki
Baba
jai.
ki jai.
Avtar Meher Baba
Meher
ki
Baba
jai.
ki jai. Avtar Meher